Good morning, everybody. A warm morning to all of you. So today we are continuing with how to enter code in Visual Basic. Okay. Now Visual Basic, already we have had a look at the controls and how the entire process works. So in the second practical, when I showed you, you might have seen this white screen opening up. So what is this white screen known as? This white screen is known as form. Okay. This white screen is known as form. Now form is an important representation where the GUI or the graphical user interface of the VB will work. Without that it won't work at all properly. Okay. So form is a very important entity because without form VB will not work properly. So now let us see how we can add control to our form. So what you do, moment the white screen appears, and remember this is the theory part we are discussing. I will also show you the entire practical emphasis, so you no need to worry about how you all have to do it practically. Okay. So resuming on what I was saying, that how to add the control to a form. So normally, suppose if we have a particular form, we will simply double click on the form, and moment we double click, the code for the form will appear somewhat like this. Okay. So on that code, what we will get to see, a window will appear where we will be redirected with the different commands. Now I would like to add the first command for VB, that is using the label control. As I told you, label is a very useful control. What is the utility of label? Label is very important control because it is not only used for providing instruction, but it is also used for displaying output. So you need label not only to input data but also to display output. Okay. And it can display both textual as well as numbered data, that is numeric data. So there is one only command for label, and what is the name of that command? Using the syntax label.caption, we can either input or output data. So what is the main principal command of label? Label.caption. Okay. So suppose if I want to print hello world, how will I do it? Just see. Inside the code I will write down label 1. Suppose the name of the first is label 1. Label 1 dot caption is equal to hello world. So I can simply give this command inside the label, that is label 1 dot caption is equal to hello world, and that will print what? It will print the output as hello world. Okay. Now text box is a more standard control for inputting and displaying data. That means it is again used for input and output, but here there are different properties. It can take text in form of a string. String means collection of character. Okay. String means collection of character, whereas number data will be taken under the function called val, and string will be taken under, if you all have done Q basic, you already know string is treated as dollar symbol in basic environment. So string will be treated under the reference variable dollar, but any form of number will be treated under the command value VAL, val for value. Okay. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to click on the text box button, drag it and resize it, the amount of size. Suppose you want to display more amount of data, so you need to have a larger text box. Okay. And if you need a small amount of data, or you want to input small amount of data or output small amount of data, you can simply go for a smaller text box. Okay. Now after you have finished resizing, you have to double click on the text box, and you can simply go for the val text1.text. Suppose the name of the first text box is text box 1, so it automatically becomes text 1. Okay. So the input or output will be text 1. The variable for the first text box will be text 1. Variable for the second text box will be text 2. automatically in the sequential order. Now many of you can ask me, sir, can we rename it? Yes, you can, but then you have to go to the properties and rename also. And finally we have the command button, which is the main action button, we call it. A command button is known as the action button, by the help of which we can run dynamic programs. Basically output will only be visible. Output will only be visible if we click on the command button. So command button, that is why it is called action button or action performed button, because if you do not click the command button, the result of output will not be displayed. Okay, so I will try to show you a simple code of addition that can happen in our next class. Until then, you all please go through this 91, 92, 93 pages. Okay, no questions as of today, because I know that you all are revising at the same time. So we have a few more pages to discuss, and we'll wrap up the chapter in 2 more classes. Okay, children. So thank you all for listening to me today, and please go through page number 92, 1, 92, 93 today. Thank you.